guys, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a story time. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, but today I'm talking about my wisdom tooth experience, the reality of what happened. It was absolutely brutal for me, and I never want to experience anything close to that ever again. Before I get into this story, please remember to subscribe at the end of this video if you enjoy it, and also give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it along the way. Now let's get started with the story time. So I did plenty of research leading up to wisdom teeth, but I'm not a professional, so if I'm saying anything that is wrong about whatever, ignore it. I am not a trained dentist or anything of the sort. Before I went into wisdom teeth, like I said, I researched like a lot. This research was panic driven because I was nervous. And it being my first surgery, I had no idea what to expect other than I'm gonna get knocked out. I have never experienced that other than my wisdom teeth surgery. And it is true, all the stories that people tell, you don't remember a thing, you don't feel a thing. So that was great. But the pain following was horrendous, and I hope I never have to experience anything like that again, especially in my mouth, because it's like you talk with your mouth, you eat with your mouth. It's like actually ridiculous. Obviously, I was experiencing a lot of pain with my wisdom teeth in, so I'm glad that I am pretty much fully recovered now. I'm getting closer to being fully recovered. I still can't eat in the back of my mouth, and also I'm avoiding crunchy foods till the 1 month mark of my surgery. So I get there, I checked in, and I was like, I'm here for Jennifer, and they're like, okay. I sit down, do my paperwork for like 2 seconds, not even kidding, and they call me back to the room. And I had no idea what was going on because I was getting swarmed by 3 or 4 nurses, and they're hooking me up with oxygen in my nose. They also took my blood pressure, and every few minutes it would expand and retract over and over again just to like track how I'm doing, and it would beep like really loud every so often, and I'd freak out because I'm like, what did I do like to make it beep? The surgeon comes in and he's like, okay, I just need you to extend your arm and relax and just put your hand in a fist. And so I did that, and he put the IV in, and he said, okay, you're about to feel really sleepy in about 20 to 30 seconds, so just be calm and relax and just let it take its course. And I said, okay. And literally not even 10 seconds later, if that, it was so quick. The lady that had like the little rubber thing to like put in your mouth to keep it open, she was like, open your mouth, quick, quick, quick. And so I did, and she shoved it in there, and I was out for the whole procedure, obviously. And I woke up, and they were on the phone with my fiance saying I was all good, and then they wheeled me out in a wheelchair, and I had no clue, like, I don't remember any of this. And I go up to the car, all I remember is like waving at my fiance, like all like loopy. And then you guys will see how the rest of the day went for me in my wisdom teeth vlog, so go ahead and watch that. The second day comes by, I had a lot of pain in my mouth, obviously in the back, but especially on the lower side, and I didn't know why. Obviously it was my second day, so like I'm gonna feel pain, but I was taking all my meds and they seemed to be doing nothing for me, especially towards the end of that first week. It was just absolute craziness. I did not like it at all. So during this time, keep in mind you're not supposed to lie flat, and you're not supposed to sip water out of a straw, which I'm very used to doing. Still to this day, I'm just like drinking it like normal, and I prefer to drink through a straw, but whatever. I'm honestly terrified to drink through a straw right now until I hit 1 month because of everything else that went wrong. So I had a few days where I just didn't really feel any pain, and then all of a sudden I was feeling intense pain, like intense, you guys. I felt like I needed to go to the hospital. It was so bad. I had work the next day, and I had been off work this whole time. I had called out one of the days because I meant to take it off originally, but I didn't. It was like my 4th or 5th day after surgery, but I still didn't feel ready to go back to work. So I called out that day, had one more day off, and then was supposed to go back to work on a Thursday. So Wednesday night, I had the worst night of my life. I literally was in so much pain. I couldn't sleep, and also sleeping straight up did not help. That night, I literally, you guys, I went to bed like at 11:30, or even earlier than that, and I did not fall asleep until 3:30 in the morning. No exaggeration. I was sobbing. I did everything I possibly could, took more ibuprofens because at this point I was out of my medications and I was literally freaking out, and my face was swelling up again, and I had a bruise on the side of my face. Bruising is totally normal and swelling is also normal, but at this point I was worried because it felt so late in the recovery process that I just didn't know what to do. I was just crying my eyes out the whole night, and that gave me a headache, and so it caused even more pain. And I also have really bad anxiety, so that did not help either. I had to call my brother in the room because usually he's good at giving advice in high stress situations. So I was like, okay, like, I'm sorry it's late, but I need you to tell me, what the freak should I do? And he recommended I use this like lavender and melatonin body wash. And so I put that on my face, and that helps calm me down, and I went to sleep shortly after that. Right after I asked him that, when we were trying to come up with a solution, I had one of the worst anxiety attacks I've had in a really long time, just right then and there, in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. Anywho, so I finally fell asleep with the melatonin soap. Highly recommend. I use it every night now since my surgery, and it's helped so much to make my body feel comfortable. Hey guys, I'm pausing the video right here to tell you I left out a crucial part of the story. I am so surprised that I even forgot about this, but on day 4 or 5, I opened my mouth too far, and I think that's what caused it. I actually have no idea, but then I started bleeding profusely after feeling a pop in the back of my mouth. So I have no idea what that was, but it was very scary. It happened late at night and I did not know what to do, so I just stuffed gauze in my mouth and I was sobbing my eyes out because I had no clue like what was happening, like I said. So yeah, long story short, that went away in about 30 minutes, so I didn't have to like go in for an emergency checkup, which was great, but it scared me, and from that point on I was very like on high alert and fragile. So I continued on with my week, and I was in a ton of pain on Thursday, and Friday I was just like, I need to go back to work. So I went back to work, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was pretty bad. I was in a lot of pain. I literally could just take like regular ibuprofen. On Wednesday, I actually called my surgeon and asked if they could refill my prescription because I was feeling lots of pain at that point, but they said they couldn't refill my prescription until they took a look at my mouth. That makes sense, but also I explained all of my symptoms to them, and they were like, sounds like you have an infection. Let's get you in as soon as possible. So I scheduled an appointment for Friday. I got a call about 10 minutes later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't get you in on Friday. And I'm like, didn't you say I had an infection, like based on my symptoms I was telling you? I was like, I didn't want to be a Karen, but like I was arguing with them because I'm like, I'm in so much pain, and like I'm gonna have to just endure this now until I can get in to see somebody. And they were like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, yeah, you should be, because like it's bad. But I eventually got an appointment scheduled for the next Wednesday, which at that point would have been 2 weeks to the day of my surgery. I was just like, I can't wait that long. There's no possible way I can wait that long. And during this time, I felt a lot of pain, especially in the right lower side of my mouth. I still couldn't eat regular food. I ate foods I wasn't supposed to apparently during the entire recovery process, which don't do this. I ate tomato soup and also like chocolate ice cream. A lot of people tell stories about how ice cream is like great and stuff, but you don't want the stuff too cold and you can't have it too hot. And also tomatoes are too acidic and chocolate is too sugary. It's like, I don't know what to eat then. I'm very picky. Like I ate applesauce for the first few days, but I just couldn't anymore. It made me like literally physically sick if I even thought about eating applesauce. But I did get in on Wednesday, and at that point I had no pain. I did feel a little nervous that there was something still wrong, so I just wanted to go in anyways, and basically they told me I was all good and all fine and dandy. That time between like not being able to get into the doctor and by the time I actually did get in there, I feel like I healed somehow. But yeah, it was a miracle for sure. And I'm happy to say that I'm eating normal foods now. The only thing I still can't eat, like I mentioned earlier, is crunchy foods. And I also need to keep avoiding chewing in the back of my mouth. Anyways, that is my wisdom tooth surgery story. Please, 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 if you're getting wisdom tooth surgery, do your research, read all the paperwork in depth, because I did not and I made mistakes. And also stay in contact with your surgeon because they know what they're talking about and you don't, most likely. But the only other advice I'd give you is to stay calm, take your meds, and just trust the process, because they do recommend 2 weeks for like regular recovery and then the month for full recovery usually. So just be careful and don't beat yourself up about it, because it's not your fault. Anyways, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that was entertaining for you guys to listen to. It was honestly a shorter story than I thought it would be, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!